Hello, my name is Jonak. I'm the team leader at Jonak Holdings Limited, where we get to serve you. So if you have a financial challenge, if you have a money problem, if you want to scale up your business, we have you sorted. And you can always check us out at www.jonakiholdings.com for money solutions. We are located in Tinda as our headquarters and at Mulago Business Center as our branch. Enjoy this video. With the operations manager, Jonak Holdings Limited, Shivan, welcome on board. Posing the first question, tell us, what are Jonaki's standard operating procedures?
Yes, with Jonaki's standard operating procedures, if a client walks into office, there are a few procedures that we follow. For instance, you have to greet someone, find out how they are doing, then you proceed to how you ask them how they would want to be helped. If someone tells you a figure, probably I need 10 million, you proceed and ask them, 10 million, what collateral do you have? Do you have a vehicle? Do you have land? And if someone says they have land or a car, besides whatever they have, you proceed and take them through the procedure to the point when they receive money. So at this point, you tell a client that if it is a car, we first do a valuation. We are doing this valuation because we want to know how much your car fetches. Mere looking at your vehicle, it may be expensive, but we do not know how much it can raise. So doing the valuation, we want to ascertain how much your car can fetch or your land can fetch. And when it is land, in most cases, most clients don't even know that their land has issues. Some have titles, but probably the coordinates are not matching with what Ministry of Land has, or some properties do not even exist in the system. So we do this valuation to ascertain if the very information on the titles is the same with the information that is at lands.
So it's helpful to the client as well?
Yes, because you find that most clients are not even aware that their titles are really not in existence. But when you do the valuation and you communicate to them, they proceed and go to lands and put their titles straight. So once we have done this valuation, at this point we know the figure. We look at the first sale. Why we look at the first sale of the property, it is because, for instance, land, these cars depreciate. You may buy your car at 200 million, but in a space of 6 months, this car has depreciated to about 100 million. So we look at the first sale, that in case someone is taking this loan for 6 months, in that period, can this car still fetch the money? So once we have agreed on the amount, we proceed and look at someone's bank statement. We look at the bank statement because someone may have a collateral, but in actual sense, they do not have the capacity. There are people that have vehicles, but probably they were bought them by their fathers, their husbands, but in reality, they do not have the capacity. Someone can own land, but it's an inheritance.
The capacity to pay the loan?
Yes, to pay the loan. So you find someone has a property, land, but it's an inheritance from the family. So when you look at the bank statement, you're trying to ascertain, vis-a-vis having the collateral, can this person pay the loan? So once you've looked at the bank statement and it has some good cash flows, you proceed and run a CRB. A CRB is a credit history. Someone could have taken a loan from maybe Stanbic, from Centenary, but they didn't pay. So this helps you to tell that this client has a character issue. Even when they have the money, they have the collateral, there are high chances that they are not going to pay you back. It's just who they are. So when you look at the CRB, you're able to tell whether they have bounced checks, whether they have write-offs in banks, and if they do not have, then you're comfortable to proceed. So at this point, you're comfortable, you've communicated to the client how much you can fund, then you proceed and install a tracker if it is a vehicle.
Just there?
Yes.
Now, if I have my collateral, and probably I have some write-off or I have a bounce check, what is the matter? All I need is money and I have my car and it can secure the money.
So if someone has a bounce check, sometimes we try to inquire from these clients to find out, why do you have this bounce check? It also depends on the period. Someone could have a bounce check, but it was like in probably in 2018. At that point, he was financially unstable. But if you look keenly through his statement currently, the statement is good and he does not have a bounce check in the current years. So you ask from the clients, you have a bounce check. Why do you have one? So someone will tell you, probably I deposited the money, but it came in late when the check had already bounced. So you consider such clients.
So there has to be evidence of the money deposited.
Yes. So if someone has a write-off, they will tell you that probably at that point I lost a job and I could not facilitate the loan. So you're forced to inquire from the bank, or probably they are given a letter from the bank proving that at that point they even informed the bank that they had lost the job, and you can reconsider. It's not that whoever has a bounce check or whoever has a write-off really meant to have it, or they intended to have the check bounce. So you have a more discussion with the client to find out exactly why they have. If there is a clear reason, you proceed and fund. But if someone...
And you have to verify the reason.
Yes. If someone is lying, because someone will tell you, for instance, I had a loan here, but they said they gave me more money, yet in actual sense they hadn't. So you see the story is a bit not connecting, and that itself shows you that there is a character issue and you don't proceed with such a client. Yes. But once everything is okay and you're comfortable as a team, you proceed and you install a tracker. You install this tracker because you're not planning to park someone's vehicle. Some of these vehicles are people's businesses. They use them for transportation, for Uber. These are the very same businesses that are going to pay back this
What
money.
if me as a client, I want the car parked and I'm not comfortable with the
No,
tracker?
at the same point, we do not park this vehicle because there are very many issues that come with parking a vehicle. Someone may park a vehicle for about 2 months. If we are all aware that if a car is not moving, it's going to get messed up. Either the engines, you find the radio has an issue, and at the same time, the company also wants to protect itself. Because if we park your vehicle, there are high chances that someone may come saying, I brought my vehicle when it had a new radio. I'm seeing an old radio. My car had such tires and now the tires are worn out. Someone may even say the mileage, by the time I parked it, it had this mileage. It means you have been using my vehicle. So when you do not park this vehicle, there are high chances that you're safe. You're not going to be accused of things you haven't done with the vehicle. And it also gives the client comfort. I'm still using my vehicle, I can still move, I can still use it for business, and at the same time pay the loan. So we install this tracker just in case things do not go well, we can easily access this vehicle. So once we have installed this tracker, we proceed and put a caveat. Initially, the procedure was long, but it has been made short by Simple, which it's an app. It takes about 5 minutes to...
Wow, 5 minutes?
Yes, it takes about 5 minutes. If their network is good, it takes about 5 minutes to put a caveat. And you can even serve a client actually in a day. Someone can come in very early in the morning, you do the valuation, you look at the bank statements, their guarantor. Most of the clients actually come with their guarantors, because you find that you have already discussed with these clients before they even come to office. So most of them already know this information. So most of them come with their guarantors. At that point, the guarantors have signed. It is important that you also look at the credibility of the guarantor, because just imagine someone gives you a guarantor who is their employee. There is no way an employee can tell his or her boss that you haven't paid a loan. So you have to make sure that the guarantor you're being given is someone who has capacity. You can even decide, if you're not comfortable with whatever information they are giving, you can decide to ask for their statements too. They can provide them. They can even give you, their IDs.
A question on the guarantor.
Yes.
What's the role of the guarantor? What's the responsibility of the guarantor?
Now, the guarantor is almost as a borrower.
Oh.
Yes. The guarantor...
So if I'm guaranteeing a loan, I'm as good as a borrower?
Yes. You're a surety. You're a surety because in case we cannot access the client, you're the very first person that we reach out to. And actually, most guarantors have come in to even pay for these clients, because before someone signs for a client, the first question we ask you is, this client is taking 30 million. In case they do not pay, do you think you can support? And you'll find someone saying, yes, I can. Someone who doesn't have the capacity will tell you, but that's a lot of money. I cannot pay it. Or someone will tell you, me, I don't work. So that alone helps you know that this guarantor is not the right person. So with the questions that you ask them, as they even the forms themselves have this information, because you will look at where someone works, it will show where someone stays, like capacity, you will see it even in the discussion. So once you're very sure that this guarantor can really pay this loan in a scenario where the client has issues, they proceed and guarantee the loan. Yes.
Thank you so much. This is a very, very rich conversation, and it's just the start. So for now, I think given the time element, it is pertinent that much of the conversation or additional information we can actually have it in our next session of the shooting. But for now, I appreciate the experience. Looks like you're loaded with information, so we look forward to our next session. Thank you so much, Shivan, for sharing with us and for supporting us as clients as well as for fellow lenders. Thank you.
For hosting.
God bless you and see you in the next session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.